What's going on, chess lover? This is Maurice Bishop, founder of Life is a Game of Chess. I want to show you an interesting game that I played. This is probably one of my best game I ever played in all of online chess history. I've been playing a lot of Bullet lately, and obviously a lot of them is faster than me, but I started playing the 3-minute blitz, and plus not only that, I've been studying a lot of the art of sacrifice. I'm sorry, not the art of sacrifice. It's called the Sacrifice and Initiative in Chess. It's by Ivan Sokolov. So I've been reading that book, and also the art of attack in chess as well. So you'll see what I mean. I'm gonna explain everything why I did what I did, and y'all could be the judge of it. Obviously, I play white. Baggy Split play black. So let's get started. I go e4, he goes e5, I go knight f3, knight c6, d4, e catches d4, and bishop c4, which is pretty much my the Scotch Gambit, which is what I play. I love doing it because it gives fast development and activity. If y'all look at all my videos, you'll see that a great attack does happen. When you have more fast-paced development. He go bishop c5, and I know the computer engine will always say pawn c3, but I just decided to castle and everything. He goes d6, and then I go pawn c3. Kind of hoping that he takes so that I can take back with my knight, because it's fast development, which is the whole purpose. He kind of does it anyway, and I go knight captures c3, and he goes a6. Obviously, the purpose of him going to a6 is obviously he want to get some type of space, because he wants to push the pawn to b5, or maybe he just want to go to b6 to fanchetto his bishop on b, or the bishop on c8 and go to b7. Maybe that's why he wants to go to a6 and push b7 to b5, or b7 to b6 to get his bishop out. But what I did is I go bishop f4. I was doing like my own chess studies and everything, and found this move to be pretty useful, because the whole point of it is if he goes b7 to b5, my whole plan is to go bishop captures f7 check, and if the king takes, then I'll go queen d5 check, and I'll take his knight on c6. So pretty much leave his king exposed if he goes b7 to b5, and also start an attack on his king, because it's out and open. Obviously, he didn't do that, so he just goes bishop g4. So I was like, alright. I go rook e1. Again, his king is on the center of the board. My king is safe. Because he didn't castle yet, I'm trying to use all my activity of my pieces and put all my pieces in the game so that I can start an attack. Knight e7 was wrong. The correct move was knight f6. The reason why I say knight f6, because at least knight f6, it would actually activate his piece to the center of the board. If he goes knight f6, he's protecting his bishop on g4, and it's just better, you want to at least, if you're going to develop your pieces, at least develop to where it's to the center of the board, Like, look at my pieces. My pieces is all in the center of the board and everything. So, but because of this mistake, I got bishop captures f7. Now, it would have been a lot different if his knight was on f6. If his knight was on f6, this bishop captures f7 wouldn't have worked. Because, if his knight was on f6 and I did bishop captures f7, he takes, and I go knight g5 thinking I'm going to win the bishop, it's not going to work, because knight on f6 will be defending that bishop on g4. But because his knight is on a wrong square, that's why I did bishop captures f7. He goes king f8. I was like, okay. So I just go bishop e3. I looked at one of the engines. They told me bishop c4 was actually the correct move, but I really don't. Like I said, I don't really try to. It's good to use chess engines and everything, but I'm just pretty pretty much on the tip, like, or I'm pretty much in the vibe that, you know, you kind of got to find moves yourself, because in tournament play, ain't like you could use computers and everything, so you want to use your own mindset. Now, the whole purpose of Bishop B3 is if he went like knight a5 or something, maybe I could go Bishop C2, you know, especially if he, I don't know. I mean, it's just more of, you know, if he decides to somehow go G6, King G7, and move the rook over, then maybe I could swing my bishop to C2 to attack his pawn on A7 and just start an attack on the king. So that was the whole purpose on Bishop B3. He goes knight D4. This is where all the action starts when he played knight D4. So, I know, and I think this is probably one of the reasons why they mentioned Bishop C4, because maybe I could have just went Bishop E2 to prevent me from getting double pawns or whatever, things like that. In this position, obviously he would kind of leave my king exposed, because if he goes knight catches F3, I have to take back with the G2 pawn, and then he could just go Bishop H3. So then my king wouldn't be looking so safe now. So to prevent me from having weaknesses and leaving my king exposed and to have my king as safe as possible, after the judgment move, knight catches D4. That's what I did. And like I said, if he goes bishop catches D4, I could take back with the queen catches on D4 or queen catches G4. And then I'm pretty much okay. You know, no problem. He actually decides to take my queen, and I decide to go knight E6 check. And then he goes king E8. Now, this is the thing. I'm going to let y'all guess what move I played. Give y'all 5 seconds. If you need to pause the video, just pause the video. Alright, I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, you must have played knight catches D8 and things like that. I didn't. I actually go rook catches D1. I captured that bishop, and I'm still threatening his queen right now. And the whole purpose, and the reason why I did this, because I felt like my knight on E6 is like on a great pose. The king can't castle. His rook on H8 and A8 is inactive. And when you have a piece that's inactive, use it to your advantage, you know. So I feel like the queen can't really do too much, and obviously the knight is on E7. Yes, the knight can move to other squares, but the fact that the 2 rooks is not really active, it's not on any open file or anything, but my 2 rooks are, and well, my rook is on D1, and technically my rook is on a file, but I mean, I just have the pawn blocking it. But at the end of the day, you know, I have more open file. I have nice piece activity, and I feel like my pieces is coordinated and everything. And the fact that, you know, I can use it to my advantage. So he did a blunder move. He goes queen D7. So I go knight catches C5. Obviously, he could take the knight if he want, but I'll just go rook catches D7. And if it goes down that way, if he takes, then that means that I will have a bishop, a knight, and another bishop, and then I'll have 1 rook. So it will be that against just his 2 rooks and his knight. And obviously, when it comes down to it, I feel like my end game probably would be a little bit more better, because I feel like I have more pieces on the board, and I can use it to my advantage. He goes queen G4, attacking my bishop and also attacking my knight on C5. So pretty much what I did is go knight E6. You know, again, the king is still in the center of the board. The 2 rooks still not doing anything at all, and this is the whole purpose of me doing this. Again, I was reading Sacrifice and Initiative by Ivan Sokolov, and he talks about pieces that are inactive. And then there's a lot of other books that I read about stuff like this when the piece is inactive and it's not five. And when the pieces are inactive and your pieces have more activity and more mobility, then the sacrifice usually will work. Because you have it, but you just have to really keep going and keep attacking. And put the pressure. And that's another thing. You don't want to change off pieces because you want to keep the activity. You want to keep the pressure, and you don't want your opponent to breathe. Pretty much. So he goes knight g6. Hitting my bishop on f4. Not a problem. I'm not trying to exchange nothing. But I go knight captures c7. And I'm going to show you something. So knight captures c7. Obviously, king f8 wouldn't work because of bishop captures d6 check. And then if he goes knight e7, then bishop captures e7 checkmate. So that's the shot that I saw. I can mate him. But obviously he saw that. So he goes king d7. Yes, I can take the rook, but I don't take the rook again. You don't want to, my knight is good, is active. I don't want to just keep exchanging pieces and everything, so I want to keep the pressure on. So I go bishop captures d6. Look at my pieces, look at my activity of my pieces. I got 2 rooks on a file, my knight on c7, my bishop on d6, bishop on c4, knight on c3. I am dominating the board. And the rooks again still are not active right now, and I'm threatening knight captures a8, and then I'm threatening a discover check. So it's look at it. I'm controlling the board. He goes rook e8. He didn't really have too much squares to really go. Y'all probably thinking, well, why not, rook b8 or whatever. Again, I can still go bishop g3 with a check, or not even that. Well, yeah, I could still do that. Bishop g3 check. Oh, I'm sorry. If he goes rook b8, I'm overthinking about something else that I was thinking about. But if he goes rook b8, I got the bishop that's on b3. I could go e6 with a check, threatening to take the queen. So that was the threat that I was threatening. So that's the whole purpose of him going to rook e8. So I just go bishop g3 check with a discover check first. I do that first, and then he goes king c8, and then I just go knight captures e8, and then he takes back. Of course, again, look at my pieces now. I have 2 rooks, a knight, a bishop, and another bishop going against a queen, knight, and a rook. And as you see, look at his pawns. I have way more pawns than he does. I have a pass pawn on e4, which is looking beautiful, but eventually it will get up there sooner or later. But again, I have my bishop on the dark square controlling the diagonal, and my light square bishop controlling some diagonals as well. And then my rook on d1 looking lovely on that d file. So, and the knight is not really doing anything at all. And not even a queen. The queen didn't really do anything. So I go bishop f7. I want to kick that bishop off his square. You about to see why. He goes rook d8. Now maybe the best move could have been rook f8. Maybe trying to kick my bishop out the way, but doesn't work that way. I just go knight d5. And if you look at knight d5, I'm actually threatening checkmate. If you can see that. I'm threatening mate on knight b6. One move mate. Obviously, my opponent saw that. Rook captures d5. I go rook captures d5. My opponent goes knight f4. Really he's not doing too much at all except for attacking my rook on d5. But no problem. I go f3. And if you look at this position, I pretty much trapped his queen. The queen can't move anywhere. Can't go h3 because my pawn on g2. Not h4 because the bishop on g3. Not h5 because of my rook there. And definitely not g6 because of my bishop. The queen has nowhere to go. So the only thing he did was knight captures d5. I go pawn captures g4, knight f6. I go e5 again. I got my beautiful pass pawn that is looking lovely. And he goes knight d7, and I just go rook c1 check. And he pretty much lost on time. Actually, nah, he didn't lose on time. He just resigned after this. And the reason why he resigned, because after that check, I mean, where he gonna go? I mean, he could go king b8, but then I push the pawn to e6, attacking the knight. But also my bishop on g3 is actually having him in check. And of course, I'm gonna take the knight off and promote to queen and just checkmate him. Pretty much, it's that simple. Even if he goes king d8, I still got bishop h4 check. And it would be mate, but he could go knight f6. But either way, he'll lose that knight. So look pretty bad on his part. So but again, I just wanted to share some principles with you. Like I said, everything started. Go back. Everything started when he went knight d4. Knight d4. So again, knight d4 takes my queen and knight e6. And yes, I could have took his queen and everything, but you know, like I said, I saw that the king is in the center of the board, is exposed. You know, I feel like I got a lot of play in this. King e8, rook captures d1, and like I said, in this position, he could have played maybe queen c8 or whatever, but it doesn't really matter because every time I look at this position, I see queen d7, and I still have knight captures g7 check. You know, then he can go king d8, but I mean, I got bishop e6. You know, I mean, I have a lot of options, which is what I'm trying to get to y'all guys. I have a lot of options, but queen d7, which was really a blunder, and then knight catches c5. And I think after I took knight catches c5, I think to me, and maybe I could be wrong, but maybe somebody high ranking, maybe they could have maybe find out how to get a draw. But I mean, if you play this position right, you should actually win this position. You know, I think my position was pretty lovely. But again, y'all, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. Y'all could do some analysis yourself, and maybe it's something that I did wrong. I'm not perfect, you know. Like I said, I just applied myself to like principles, you know, activity in the pieces. The king's in the center of the board, and when the king is in the center of the board and king castle, you want to put as much pressure as possible, and always look for the best move. You know, always. And another thing that helps is I do the tactical puzzles like every day, like literally every day to find something. And then I look at other grandmasters' games, you know, try to figure out, you know, why they make these moves. And I ain't talking about just looking at the game, but actually going down and actually analyzing their game and trying to figure out why they do the moves that they do. And then yeah, I use like some chess engines just to see like what they play or whatever, but I'm more of trying to find out why humans like us, our intellect, why we play the moves that we play. So I do this like literally every day, and this is the reason why obviously it paid off, you know, that I did some moves like this. So again, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, you know, please comment below. Please share this video, and hope you enjoy, and have a good night. Alright, peace out.